Welcome to You, But More Powerful. I'm your host, Rhiannon, and this is your go-to podcast for raw and expansive messages from health, fitness, business, and mindset, and as always, with a little bit of fun sprinkled in. My purpose is to help you step into your most powerful self and build your dream life. You'll gain clarity, connection, and confidence with a whole lot of practical skills along the way. I know you're in exactly the right place to level up, build the body, mindset, and life you absolutely love and thrive in. Let's go. Hello, and welcome to yet another episode. Today's episode is going to be short and sharp and to the point where we really get into the weeds on goal setting, wrapping up the year, having clarity on the plan moving forward, and just kind of going through the way that I operate within my coaching service. So at the moment, we're going through a lot of conversations around, what worked really well, what are the plans for 2023 and mapping things out. And one of the common themes is, time moves so quickly. And we know this, right? We know that, before we know it, we're going to be this time at 2023, you know what I mean? Christmas of 2023. The time's going to pass anyway, and we want to be able to make the most of things. And when we're in the business of physique results and creating a lifestyle conducive to how we want to show up in the world, we know that this isn't just some quick fix, try and smash it out, do some challenge. You won't be hearing me promoting challenges and then, back to how things were. It is like slowly, building that momentum, like you're pushing that snowball down the hill, one little bit at a time. And it slowly starts to build up into this really massive snowball. And that's what we want to do within our lives. If we're not growing, we are dying. So we want to continually make progress. It doesn't need to be, full steam ahead year round. But it's also, if we don't make any changes, we're going to be in the exact same spot we are right now this time next year. So if, you're feeling a little bit lost and confused on how to wrap things up, it's going to be a very practical episode. Okay. So what I have gotten and created, I should say, I will put it in the show notes. If you are listening, head there and download yourself a copy. But basically, I've got a spreadsheet, and this is what we're working through. So we've got 2022 reflections, 2023 planning, and I've also got your 2023 reflections in there as well. So it's a really easy way to come back to. Again, pop this in a Google Drive folder, and yeah, go hell for leather on this. Like, it's an exciting time. Now, the reason I believe going through a reflection piece, and I actually, have heard a few others talk about this as well, and it's something that I've done, but not with always great specificity, I should say. I've just kind of toyed with ideas in my mind and going, yeah, this is how it kind of looks and feels, etc. But when we're looking at, our year in review, to avoid just blanketing, okay, I had a crappy year because, this last week of Christmas lead up has been a little bit rough, or whatever may happen. Maybe there was some, adversities that you were facing, maybe some outside of your control and unusual things that have happened. That can start to taint a whole year that could have been one of your most transformational or incredible years. Now, I know plenty within the team that I'm working with that have hit massive milestones. Like, they've joined the 100 Club for their deadlifts. They've made huge physique changes. Like, they've nailed, fat loss phase, growth phase, fat loss phase. Some are ready to take that next step into a growth phase. These are all milestones, hitting the PB, can't even talk, hitting the PBs with their runs. Like, we've got some that did the City to Surf. We've got girls in the gym wearing shorts, recording themselves, feeling amazing. Some of the guys in the team, seeing their biceps grow, all of these amazing things, right? And they can just get kind of lost in the way. So I do encourage, and in each week we do, kind of, state what our proud moment or our win was for the week, but it's really cool to reflect on this all in one go. So what I'm looking at in front of me, and if you've downloaded your copy and made a copy for yourself, you'll be looking at it as well, but basically listing all of your milestone moments. And the way that I do this is like in a brain dump style. So what I mean by brain dump is, I'll set a timer for say 2 to 5 minutes. So really take your time, give yourself an hour to really go through all of this stuff. Set yourself a timer for 2 to 5 minutes. And now I just want you to think about absolutely everything that was good this year. Look for those silver linings. Like, what Doesn't matter how big or how small. And again, let's celebrate these small moments. Like, let's stop underplaying ourselves. Let's stop, oh, but this person that. No, celebrate it. If you have achieved whatever it is, celebrate the crap out of that. So all of these milestone moments. So you're going to list all of those things down. Even when I'm just, reflecting on my year, like, it gets exciting. It's exciting to see, like, even, doing the photo shoot for myself post illness and the transformation there. And again, I'll talk about that on another one. But, just reflecting on all of these things. So going down 2 to 5 minutes, go and do your milestone moments. I told you guys this one's going to be a quick one. Then we want to have a look. Okay, what were your goals and intentions for 2022? So revisit your vision boards, revisit your, goals. For those that are listening that are within my team, you have all these in your coaching spreadsheets anyway, and we've got our planning information there. So revisit this. And this is why if we're doing it in this spreadsheet, you can revisit this time next year as well. I'll probably add bits and pieces to it, but I'll keep you posted. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. All right, let's just work through this. So what did you intend to do? What did you intend to see? What did you intend to achieve, be, accomplish? Like, what are those things that you set out to do this year, and how did you stack up against them? Okay, so this is a time to celebrate all the amazing things that we did and have a look and go, okay, what worked really, really well this year? So that next question, it's like, what worked well and what can we take into 2023? Like, what do we want to keep the momentum with and what do we want more of? So maybe you excelled in really setting boundaries this year. And that's something that I really set an intention to do, is to set and hold more boundaries and hold space for myself. And I'm really proud of what I achieved this year. It's a work in progress. And it always will be, but I want to keep that. I want to keep doing more of those things. Now, I've noticed that I've started to slide in that area a little bit more. So bringing that front of mind, I'm like, wow, I'm really proud of what I did this year. Is it perfect? By all means, no. But, moving forward, I want to keep more of that into 2023. Same thing in, creating some good habits in terms of like what makes me feel really good and how I start my mornings and what that looks like in that kind of morning routine. I want to continue moving that into 2023 because that really helped me accelerate my fat loss results in my deficit phase. And, transitioning into a maintenance block now, the amount of food and the activity, things are feeling really, really good. And I'm excited for that next phase. Okay. So starting to get the theme here, what worked really well. Again, then that next section is here's those blind spots or, some of those moments, like what didn't work this year. So what was challenging? What was hard? Reflect on it. Like chuck this down. What didn't you enjoy? What don't you want to take into 2023? It's a real big moment to be like, okay, what are the things that I really, really enjoyed? And what are the things that maybe I didn't enjoy so much? Okay. And let's leave this into 2022 and let's not take it moving forward. So then it's like the next section from there is your intentions. So what are your intentions? What are your wildest dreams? What are those amazing, like big, hairy, audacious goals? Like nothing off limits. Write this down. It doesn't need to be achieved within a year. Just pop everything down. The moment that I started doing this, like life really started to accelerate. Like I wrote all of these things in here and, did they come to fruition straight away? No. Are there still many to achieve? Yes. But having them there front of mind brings me back to those moments. And again, what worked well? It's like, okay, these are the intentions that I have. If I continue on this path, like I'm going to be closer to these dreams and these goals. So take some time, 2 to 5 minutes. Give yourself longer if you want to. Draw a picture, create, like cut out, bits and pieces from magazines, like whatever, like make this fun, and get those intentions all in one spot and solidify those. I'll also leave the link to the vision board because I'm kind of like leaning into that as well. The vision board workshop. That's like a half an hour workshop going through basically all the science behind it and actually how to produce one, both physical and digital copies. And I cannot swear by these enough. Honestly, the reticular activating system, that part in your brain that seeks out that information, you're going to want that vision board. So go and check out that. But you can, then start to collate your intentions and move these into your vision board and have that front of mind. I've got mine on my, my backdrop on my computer, my wallpaper, my phone, everywhere. And I'm so excited to put together 2023s. Then there's also a section here as well for, word of the year, word for 2023. These can be really powerful things if you choose them to be. I haven't always had a word of the year, but this is something that I'm working to create for 2023. I haven't been set on it just yet. I guess if I look and reflect on 2022, my word of the year really was health. I had to really dig deep and make sure that everything was running smoothly, everything was under a microscope. I honestly don't believe that I honestly do believe that if I didn't do this, I wouldn't be in the position that I am now in terms of my overall health. I've really struggled with that a lot with the autoimmune condition, and kind of essentially putting it into remission, pretty much symptom free. I see some things when they're starting to flare and I know what I need to do. But that word of the year, like that was my whole and soul focus, along with all the other areas that I was chipping away at. And, what allows me to do this is having these structures, having these overarching plans and times for review. Like I can tell you now, hand on heart, they don't just happen by accident. And I didn't want to, I didn't want to be like that. I didn't want to live like that. So I guess my word of the year for 2022 was that health, like hormones, everything, like blood work, all that kind of stuff. So my word for 2023, like I mentioned, I haven't really set it. I want it to be something that is really powerful and really meaning. But what I've done is I've just workshopped a couple of different, thrown some different things around there: power, confidence, like all these kind of things, and wanted to get really clear on that. You can have multiple words. There's no rules with this. And then I've also got a little section for hot tips. So, again, so to just kind of consolidate that, let's look at what are these amazing milestone moments that you achieved. If you wore shorts in the gym, celebrate the shit out of that. If you recorded yourself for the first time in the gym, celebrate the shit out of that. I want you to right now, this is your permission slip to cut the bullshit. Do not compare to anybody else. I don't care if someone else has been wearing shorts for 6 years. I don't care what they're doing. I don't want you to care what they're doing. I want you to care about you and the things that you accomplished. If you went into the gym for the first time, celebrate that. Like I was about to clap, but it'll probably be really loud in your guys' ears. If you hit a PB, I don't give a shit if anyone else can lift heavier. There's always going to be someone that's bigger, better, stronger, harder, faster, whatever, anywhere further along in business. You can find them. 100%. But I want you to right now celebrate what you did really, really well. If you overcame some dark shit, good on you. Like celebrate that, write those milestones down. There's even so many things coming to mind. Like we had many deaths in the family over the last few years, and it's like going through those things and the milestone moments and the achievements came off the other side of that. Are other people further along in their journeys? Probably. But again, it's about us bringing it back to you. How can you be the most powerful version of you? It is not judging yourself based on someone else's journey. Okay. You're running your own race. Focus on you. Yes, we're not going to get leaps and bounds ahead by accident. We know that, if you've done any of my goal setting workshops before, I refer to that Harvard business study that essentially, says if you write down exactly what, exactly when, basically have all these commitments in place, you're more likely to follow through. You're like 80 something % more likely to achieve your goals if you have them out. This is why I do these things here. So if you want a copy of that as well, I can leave that in the show notes. So check it all out. I'm creating some work for myself here, but I absolutely love it. Anyway, so back to that. So that's kind of like the year in wrap up. Like I said, I'm just going to get short, sharp, straight into it. Keen to know if you like the shorter episodes as well. So do let me know. But then the planning side of things. So I go through with the team and actually, lay out all the ins and outs around, okay, these are the, this is the phase. This is what we're going to be working towards during this time, obviously based on all of their goals. Okay. So if you've got a coach telling you what you should be doing based on their likes, dislikes, needs, wants, etc., I encourage you to question that. It's a bit of a red flag. But if, it's like, okay, what are your goals? Perfect. All right, let's look at what that would look like in your 2023. So this is where these milestone moments come in. So, as an example, I think about, when there's weddings on, end of term, myself included, I'm a bridesmaid at the end of February. I cannot wait. My beautiful friend, Brooke, So much love if you're listening. Anyway, and then, a week later, we have another wedding. It's up, destination wedding. So we'll be away for that weekend. And then it's my birthday during that time. There's a lot of things basically happening during this period of time. So what I'm planning to do and intending to do is run my fat loss phase up until a certain point in time, allow for some flexibility. So maintain the new body just before I'm heading into these, this season, I suppose, in my life. And then, pursue those next goals after that. And really just laying it out. So having that broad plan and broad picture, I literally have all the dates of, Mondays all the way through to the end of the year. And it's not a lot of pages. Like, it's literally 52 spots, guys, right? When we're younger, it feels like everything takes ages. As we get older, life really does speed up. But when you have a look at it and think about, okay, if I want to run a growth phase, if I want to run a deficit and I've got X, Y, and Z happening throughout the year, or, uni exams are at this point, maybe we don't want to be running a fat loss phase because our brain function isn't going to be where we want it. We want to be at high capacity. Maybe we don't want to be at the back end of a growth phase where we're feeling sluggish and all this kind of stuff either. Maybe being in a maintenance block is a much more, helpful thing to be doing during that period of time. So you can start to see it's very personalized. There's no one size fits all. There's no everyone's doing a fat loss at this point, everyone's doing a maintenance at this point, everyone's doing a growth at this point. But if you're in the game, in the long game of creating a lifestyle and physique and strength that you're really damn confident and proud of, then doing these things, it's no secret. Those that have gotten the best results are the ones that participate in this. They show up. They don't get it perfect every time. Had a conversation with one of the girls yesterday who mentioned the very first time we sat down, she was just like, it was a bit overwhelming. And I totally appreciate that, because I remember the first time I did something like this too, I thought, this isn't going to work. That was a fixed mindset for sure. And I've moved into that growth mindset here, but I can tell you now, for those that are watching this, you'll see how happy I am thinking about 2023. But anyway, let's get back to this. So we've got all those bits and pieces. We've got some phases. We've got some notes. So getting clear on your key milestone dates, and then kind of running through. So this is obviously specific to my coaching, but I've given you guys a copy as well. And when we're thinking about it, we've got, what does being powerful, what is being the best version of you? If you haven't listened to episode 1, go and have a listen to that. That's all about, that vibe. But, behind my coaching, it is really about being the most strong, the strong, capable, powerful version of you, being that best version. What does that look like? For some, that's going to be certain physique goals. That's going to be certain strength goals, all different things. So then we go through, what's the main goal? So we want to be specific. We want to know, exactly what it is. I want to lose X amount of weight. I want to lose X number on my centimeters off my waist. I want to be X dress size. I want to hit 100 kilo deadlift. I want to be able to squat 2 times my body weight, like all of these types of things here. Maybe it's, I want to be able to run 5K in X amount of time. Just getting really clear and specific about that. Then starting to think about, like, who will you be when you achieve these things? So who do you want to be? And the person that has those results, who are they? Like, live into that for a second. I want you to close your eyes down and visualize and be like, you know what? That's who I want to be. Okay, that person, they do this and this, and what does their life look like? And really start to create and like visualize that ideal self and who you will be. And then next bit is like, how are you going to feel? So how do you want to feel? What will that feel like? Then the next little bits are, what needs to change to get there? What needs to stay the same? And then the quickest wins in action. So I like to think about it as a bit of a traffic light. You got you stop and you go. So what needs to stay the same? That's just your orange light, just chilling, whatever. What needs to change? Okay, these are the things that, we're going to do these things differently. And what things we're already doing well, keep them cruising along as well. So keeping them the same, keeping the things that you need to change, keeping the things that you need to start doing too. So all of those things, you got the space for the vision board, etc. Basically a bit of a wrap up of 2022, a bit of a planning for 2023. I have tried to just, run through this, get it out nice and quick. You'll find all the bits and pieces in the show notes in terms of a copy of this for yourself. There's also a link to the vision board workshop and also the goal setting. And again, I would highly, highly recommend to, set out an hour of your time, really reflect. Again, the ones that are, if you even heard episode 5, I think it is, and I've got another episode coming out now as well with another beautiful woman within the team. these conversations that we're having, these girls that are hitting these amazing milestones, they're doing this. I can tell you now. And that's not just me saying it. You can message them and ask them for yourself. But just as I wrap up, I also may just throw this in here off the cuff and say, if this is something that you resonate with and you really want some help and support doing this, I'm going to offer 2 free, workshops essentially. So a one-on-one planning session, reflecting on your 2022, mapping out a bit of a 2023 and what that would look like. It's only going to be to the first 2 listeners, first 2 spots. Obviously, those of them inside my Glow Up coaching, you guys are already got your spots there as well. So know that that's on the cards. But for 2 of you guys, I'm going to offer a free phone call where we're going to go through video call, map it all out, give you a bit of a plan of attack, make sure you're feeling really comfy with those intentions. So yeah, reach out, find me in the DMs, email, whatever. I'll leave all the things in the show notes. But yeah, basically jump on it. Let's go. Let's wrap up 2022. Let's have an amazing 2023. Let me know how you found this episode, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for listening to the You, But More Powerful podcast. If you're determined to continue to expand and grow and reach heights you never thought were possible, you'll want to make sure you're subscribed so you'll never miss out on a single episode. If you loved today's, I would absolutely love your feedback and to see you tag @YouButMorePowerful_podcast on Instagram. See you guys in the next episode.